Come on. That's the one. That's the one we want.
Damage report. Guidance system out. Auxiliary steering out. Defense! Defense! She won't answer the helm. We're locked into the moon's gravitational pull. Do. We die.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of BW Flix, the average movie critics, where we sit down and break down not only new movies or new flicks, but also old movies. Old movies. There's such a vast library of wealth of movies that are out there that's waiting for us to discover, review, go over, laugh, cry, have a great time, eat popcorn. That's one of our biggest things here about this show. Especially with our rating system. We'll go into that later. But let's give you a little intro into what we did last episode. We actually talked about we reviewed Sinners, and the reason we did that, we did it in honor of them being nominated for not only 16 awards, but it was a record nomination. Excuse me, a record I can't even get the words out.
Nomination. There you go.
Record it was a record.
You're good.
For 16 nominations, and they only subsequently won 4. They won 4 of them. One for Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor, Best Original Screenplay by Ryan Coogler, Best Soundtrack by let's see, the gentleman is Ludwig Göransson. And Best Cinematography by Autumn Durald Archipelago. Forgive me, ma'am, if I screwed your name up. I didn't try to. But with that being said, tonight, as previously discussed on the last episode, we will be reviewing the movie of choice by none other than 2 guys that we know on our other podcast, the Professional Unprofessional Sports Show, and Keith Engel and Bo Crouch. They want to talk about The Last Starfighter. This was done in 1984, and we're going to be reviewing that tonight. And I'm going to pass this over to speak about some superlatives of this movie to my co-host, Brian Arndt. And excuse me, my brother, I didn't even ask you, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. This is going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun show. I'm just going to say that. And just to the Oscars out there, it was pretty good. I think that 4 out of 16 is a slight. They should have probably got a couple more awards. I'm not saying they should have won all 16. That wasn't going to be possible. Anyway, I don't think they would have won all 16. There were some things that still lacked in the film. Everybody's going to have that. But the cinematography for Sinners was really good. So I'm glad she got the award for that because they did a very good job on that.
Well, before you go there, let me say this. They got the record for the most nominations, but they also got the record for the most losses. They lost 12. That's the most record for losses. So
they got more. They got more losses on their. Now I'm having a lost word. Dang it. Anyway.
Well, I'll say they have more losses than LeBron James has in championships losses.
They got more losses and nominations than most people had nominations. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
It just works out that way, and it's okay. I mean, to tell you the truth, I didn't see the other movie that got Best Picture, and I heard that was a really good movie though with Leonardo DiCaprio. They had a whole bunch of folks in that movie, so I got to go see that one.
Same.
But anyway,
One battle after another is the name of that movie. Yeah.
yeah, one battle after another won the award for best movie of the year. Going to the Last Starfighter, it was directed by Nick Castle. It was written by Jonathan R. Betul. It was produced by Gary Adelson, Edward O. Denault, and it starred Lance Guest, Dan O'Hurley, Catherine Mary Stewart, and Robert Preston were the four main actors in this movie. Cinematography was done by King Bagat, edited by Carol Timothy O'Meara, music by Greg Stefan. Production companies were Lower Mara Productions, Universal Pictures. It was also distributed by Universal Pictures. The release date of the movie, and this is one of the things that I had to realize. It was July 13th, 1984 when they released this film. It was a running time of 101 minutes. The country that produced it, obviously, that released it was the United States. The budget was $15 million, but they almost made double that in the box office at $28.7 million. So they did a pretty good job with the movie for the time it was in. So, and we'll get into that. What do you got there, James?
Well, I'm going to give you a synopsis of the movie, and then we'll go into our review of the show. So, for those of you out there that's watching tonight for the first time that have not seen the last episode, we try to give you a heads up because we give spoilers in the movies. The movie we try to let you know the name of the movie, what we're going to be reviewing the next week. So we give you a full week to try to watch the movie so that you know that there are spoilers, and we try to review it, and you can chime in as well and let us know what you think about the movie and whether you like it, you dislike it, all the different things about it that you're excited, some things you may know about the movies that we may not. We don't mind communicating and chopping it up with anybody out there regarding the movie. But the synopsis of this Last Starfighter, as B said, 1984. Man, before I even get to that, let me think about 1984. Let's see. LeBron James born in 1984. The World's Fair happened in 1984. I'm from New Orleans, so I know that. I actually went to it in 1984. Michael Jackson Thriller's debut, 1984. I had the jacket. If you don't know about that out there, I had that red jacket with the. But definitely, this movie synopsis, The Last Starfighter, is based on a teenager, a young teenager, just presumably graduating from high school, waiting to get an announcement on whether or not he's going to college or getting acceptance in college. Hey, yeah,
such a baby.
Yes, such a baby. Teenager Alex Rogan that waiting to move. He lives in a small mobile home community and waiting to find out if he's got accepted to college because he's anxious to leave. And while he's waiting, he plays a video game called Starfighter, and he's very good at it. It's something he's been doing for a long time. And finally, he's on the verge of winning or beating the high score of 900,000, and he actually does it. Everybody's excited for him. You can tell there's a small community because every little thing that happens there, everybody's excited or joins in on it. And so everybody runs and sends word. They go see him beat this score. And unbeknownst to him, this is not just an average video game. This is a video game that actually is built for recruiting young or old or whoever is really good at starfighting in spaceships, because they need recruits to join their star league or intergalactic star league and help the intergalactic or the galaxy of worlds save their world and protect it. I'm again lost for words tonight. So they're supposed to protect the galaxy, and they're trying to get recruits to join them. And so it's based on whether or not he wants to stay home and not be bothered with that, or go and explore new worlds and become a part of something bigger than himself in the Star League and help protect it against Zur. Zur is the evil doer with and his armada that's trying to take over the not just the world, but the multiple worlds and galaxies. So we've already seen clips, a couple of clips here, and B, we can start reviewing from here. If you want to go first, you can, or I can go first.
All right, well, let's get to the clips first here. I got a couple more clips on there, and this is the one where Centauri arrives to Earth to get the young man Alex
Rogan, yes.
and take him to the Star Empire to get him acclimated, because he was impressed with the way he beat the game. So here's part of it, just for a little taste of the movie there.
I guess. Hey. What are you doing?
Listen, Centauri is impressed.
Sorry about
I've seen
that.
him come and I've seen him go, but you're the best, my boy. Dazzling. Light years ahead of the competition, which is why Centauri is here. He's got a little proposition for you. You interested?
I guess.
Hey.
What are you doing? Listen, Centauri wants to keep it for a surprise.
So the next one that we have too is actually the battle scene, near the end of the battle scene, where they use this device called the Death Blossom. This is kind of hilarious, but this is fun to watch too. So there you have it.
Yeah, I'm going to go first. So, I mean, where do we begin, or where do I start? Look, that last scene you just saw out there, ladies and gentlemen, you saw the computerized spaceship, or the what do they call them? The gunner, and well, he's the gunner, and the guy that's his co-pilot is a navigator.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you look at it, it's not a. I kind of want to say it's a ripoff. It's a ripoff of Star Wars, but it's a mixture of things. I saw some Star Wars in this movie. I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I also saw War Games. We're looking at the video games. I saw, a young teenager playing the video game. And I also saw, what's the other movie? Star Trek. I saw Battlestar Galactica. I've seen a lot of different things pieced together. And it was no real story that would just seem like it was big. It had potential. Movie had a lot of great potential to succeed, and I can see why it's rated. What did you get? I think it was like a 6.7 and had 76% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
IMDb was 6.7, so I can see it was fairly rated high. But I think a lot of that's mostly, to be honest with you, it's on nostalgia. I think most people who watched it were young kids. I mean, it was a family movie, but it really had bad direction. I didn't like the way it was going. I mean, starting off, it seemed like everything you're trying to get a feel of the characters and character development. But Alex is the young teenager. But I didn't like the actors. Lance Guest, first thing I saw him in, honestly, was Halloween 2. And Jamie Lee Curtis was obviously the star, and she stole the show. Lance he was a co-star, but he didn't really show anything. And so now I'm looking at him in this movie as the main protagonist. And you got people like the actor that you saw that was in the car, that was Robert Preston. He's still in the show. Alex was boring. He was a boring character. He didn't really have any type of drive. He didn't have anything that led you to think that he was going to be the superhero, which he was. He's supposed to be the guy. The movie's called The Last Starfighter for a reason. I mean, if you hadn't watched this movie, we give spoilers. the antagonist Xur and his armada blows up all their starships. So there's only one left that escapes, and he becomes the guy that, after all playing this video game, believe it or not, and he's going to be the guy that destroys the armada, from playing a video game. And so, not saying this thing is unbelievable, because it's fantasy, it's sci-fi fantasy, and so it's already sci-fi fantasy, but it's even more like kind of unbelievable. Like so from a video game, you're going to be the only guy left. All those guys that were already veterans and everything else, they all got destroyed, and you're the guy, the lone hero that's going to destroy everybody, and come back and you save the day, and you're the hero. It was just not believable. And the relationship between he and his girlfriend Maggie, I didn't see a lot of good chemistry there. It just wasn't believable as a relationship. There was some good parts in it. There were some likable characters, like I mentioned earlier, Centauri, the guy you just showed with the hat that was driving the futuristic car. He stole the show. He had a lot of great lines in it. I liked his character. Character is believable. Greg, his navigator, I liked that character as well. And like I said, I liked the guy you mentioned off air was Lord Krill. And Xur and Lord Krill. Lord Krill is the one that gave that line. I'll give you that line to mention it. I'm not going to steal that line from you. But I mean, all in all, this movie to me, man, it just wasn't. It wasn't that good. The CG, look, it's a pioneering movie. It's a pioneering movie because of CGI. It was the first movie. Anybody out there, go look it up. Believe this is the first movie that actually had full computer graphics. If you look at Star Wars, they use miniature models. You look at Battlestar Galactica, miniature models. Star Trek, miniature models. It was great stuff, because if you look at Star Wars, man, it looked real. And the budget for Star Wars, to let you know, was between $9 to $11 million in 1977. This budget, like you mentioned, was $15 million. Let me put some context here. Had they have done some things like the miniature model, I think they might have gotten a little bit better effects to me with some of this, because it just looking back on CGI then in its infancy was pretty bad. Now it's horrible. It's hard. I mean, we're trying to get young people to watch these movies. I mean, we probably won't ever get, if they see this movie, they're going to be like, you're doing old movies? I'm never watching this show ever again. But I mean, but with that said,
keep watching.
It's history. Yes, keep watching, because we do new movies, and like I said, we do old movies as well, and some great old movies out there. But with that said, to put context on this, 1984, Terminator spent $6.1 million. I think if most of you have seen the original Terminator, that was well done. The story was well told. James Cameron, great movie. I can watch it over and over again. It's just from beginning to end, great story, and computer graphics, and combined with puppetry and animatronics and different things like that. It was just well done. It was well done. I think they could have did a lot more. They had a much bigger budget. They could have did a lot more with this movie. I think so. There's a lot of meat left on the bone. There was a lot left undesired stuff that just wasn't, to me, that wasn't good. I mean, I'm going to pass it over to you, and you tell me what you think, and I'll rebuttal again with that.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page with that. I think the CGI was in its infancy. I think that was the first movie that did CGI on. So you got to give them a little bit of credit for that, because it looked like we were watching Atari, basically. But yeah, with the $15 million budget, considering that Star Wars started off with $11 million, and the cinematography and the special effects were pretty good, pretty excellent actually. They could have done a lot more to fuse the CGI and whatever they were using, depending on how their budget was. It just left a lot of stuff. They could have just did something different. I mean, I know they were trying to get this whole concept out there. It was a concept movie. That's how I feel about it. It's a concept movie, and the acting was meh at the best. The Centauri guy, Robert Preston, he was awesome in that. Hell, half his family members stole the show, once they were on Earth half the time, because you had his brother up there, Lewis. He was up there, being in his footsteps, and his mom, the grandma that was Maggie's grandma. I didn't think Maggie was especially the greatest actress either. In that, but they had some. Will Wheaton was in it, by the way. Will Wheaton was a young Will Wheaton in this movie. He's a guy that plays in Star Trek as what's his name? Ensign something, whatever. But his mom serves on the Enterprise as well. Yeah, so he's been through this, and he's played Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton has played that character throughout many of the Star Treks and through some shows, TV shows. Big Bang Theory is one of them. We were talking about the other way. Yeah, especially because could use more texture. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Yeah, texture, and it didn't. And they could have done a whole lot for 15 million. Come on. And I'm surprised that they made double, to tell you the truth. I guess it was one of those nostalgic movies. Yeah, I get you, Robbie. I'm just getting through the comments here from our viewers here. Yeah. I mean, exactly. Those movies are movies that they didn't have a high budget, but they made the special effects in those movies, Gremlins, they were believable. I mean, you could feel that it's actually Gizmo just walking around somewhere. You know what I'm saying? This movie was like, besides the people that actually played the part in the movie, I couldn't believe the shit. I'm like, what are you guys playing in a video game? It's kind of like you guys you made the video game real life, but it's still a video game.
Let me interject. The computers, when they were on the planet Rylon or whatever, and forgive me if I'm mistaken on what I called it, but the computers look like Starbright devices, toys. If you remember those, or Lightbright. Remember Lightbrights? Mm-hmm. When you take it, looks just like Lightbright. I'm like, man, you spent 15 million on this, and the computers look like Lightbright. Man, I mean, and let me say this: 15 million, from what I researched, was above average for movies. So they had a big enough budget to do some things. And again, I'm giving you context. A1 movie in Terminator, 6.8 million in the same year. It's just they just didn't do the right things with their money. I don't understand. I mean, maybe the computer part just took all the money, took the budget. Maybe the computer graphics took the money.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, Robbie's got a point. The Death Blossom scene was pretty cool. The way they just broke into the secret weapon and they just destroyed every ship that was around them. That was pretty cool. And my favorite part of the movie, probably, and let me also say something. This is the first time I've saw this movie, so I'm gonna tell you, if I didn't think it was watchable at that time when I was that age, pretty much probably didn't think it was going to be good this time. But I watched it. There was some good play, there was some good things about the movie, but the best part of me was the line that that Zer gave at the end, when it was him and his last guy on the ship after they disabled it.
Him and Lord Krill.
Your little crew, and they were, and the moon was sucking them in, and he was like, "Well, what do we do now?" And the thing just went over his eye and goes, "We die." That's the best line in the movie. To me, that was the best line in the movie. I'm sorry.
That's a sign of a true warrior going down with the ship. We die. Yes, I mean it was again. That was one of the few good lines in the movie, and I just really. As a kid, you're always looking for the protagonist. To me, when I watched this, I didn't get a chance to watch this as a kid. I knew of the movie. For whatever reason, it just passed me by. I never saw it, and I got a chance to watch it twice now this past weekend, and I'd like to get 4 hours back of my life.
4 hours back in your life, damn.
but I mean, I'm kind of giving you the clue to what I'm going to rate this movie. And for all you viewers out there, we didn't mention it. We are definitely, the way we rate the movies, we use a system from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. It would be we called it buckets of popcorn. So 1 bucket of popcorn is just like a not worth anything at all. And so all the way up to 5, 5 being great. And we like, and if we really good, if the movie's a classic, we put extra butter on it at 5. And so we're not going to rate it just yet because we got a little more time here. We can still talk more about the movie. It's I'm really disappointed in the protagonist. Again, I want to emphasize that on the main person, the guy that's supposed to be the hero. He just didn't really give me that feeling that. I mean, I understand you're supposed to have doubt. You're supposed to have some second thoughts about. I mean, because in this movie, he's not sure if he wants to put all this on his shoulders and be that guy to leave his family to go, fight the world. He's a little nervous and scared to do that type of thing. But this is the same guy that you had to get encouragement because you're the guy that broke the record on the simulating game. So I just think that especially when he had his beta robot come and take his place on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The robot character didn't like we just saw Michael B. Jordan play 2 characters. He played twins on Sinners, and you could distinctly tell there were 2 different personalities on the show. I didn't get much of a distinct personality difference here. I mean, not saying they're supposed to be because they're supposed to be the same person, but he didn't really show that the robot was still learning, that it was still, except the time when he was sitting with his girlfriend and he was listening in on communication on how to communicate with her. But it was just ho hum. It was mediocre. That's the word I'm looking for. It was very mediocre at best. And like you said, the young lady that played Maggie, she wasn't inspiring as well. And again, their relationship didn't show any type of real good chemistry as well.
I mean, like I said, Robert Preston basically stole the show as Centauri, and hey, even Griggs, his navigator, stole some of the show too. He was pretty cool guy in the movie. I think this became a video game as well. And a video game I heard was better than a movie. So when a video game, because in a video game, basically it was the movie. You know what I'm saying? To me, you just had live people on there.
That's what the movie was, an elaborate video game. With live action people in it. And it's just what I saw. It's just like, okay, this could have been it could have been better than what it was. It had a great premise. It had a great premise. It just didn't meet expectations, and it missed the mark. They really missed the mark. And I'm surprised that it has a really high rating. I think awesome. What he said?
He said the dude's younger brother was always annoying. I said
he was great. I thought he was awesome too. I mean, little kids getting into Playboy magazines and different things like that. You're like, what? And the older brothers like say, I'm going to tell mom what you're doing if you don't go back to bed. That kind of thing. What did Sonya say?
That he said, what do y'all think about the realism of his fear? That's what I'm talking about is missing in this. He really wasn't. He was more. I don't think it was fear. I just think he was just a typical teenager kid that didn't want to do all that and have all that on his plate. That's what that was. It wasn't about fear. I think it was about not knowing a lot of things. Like when he got on the ship, he was, when he was getting trained how to do certain things on the ship, it was kind of like he was kind of confused because he's young and he doesn't understand. He's just getting it. And then he realized that the ship's controls were the same as the video game controls, so he was able to function off that. And I never really thought he feared anything that was going on around him. I just thought that he was homesick. That he really didn't want to do this because he's a teenager and he found other things to do in his life. He wanted to be with his girl. Most teenagers go through at that age, 17, 18 years old. They want to be around people. They don't want to go take anything on as responsibility. So, I mean, I didn't see fear as being something that was in this film at all. I saw fear from mostly the people that were that were in fear of the Kodan Empire, the Star Empire themselves. They were just like, oh, this guy's gonna, kill everybody. They had the fear. He didn't.
Right.
Maybe that was the courage. I don't know.
I went into the movie. The second time I watched, I had to give myself an opportunity to give him another chance because I wanted to study, because I understand that there's multiple personalities out here. There's differences in personality. There's differences in how people do things, whether you're right brain, left brain. I try to look at every aspect for him as a character, that's being built up. And I don't think it was being built up enough. And I think part of it was just the lackluster effort from the actor Lance Guest, to me, myself. And not saying that Lance is a bad actor, but I mean, I had to think back to what other movie was this guy in, and I saw he was in Jaws 4: The Revenge, and I saw that movie, and that was pretty bad too.
Look, we're talking about another movie before we even review that one. Dang.
I just throw it out there, man. Lance Guest don't really have a good lineup as far as award-winning performances here. So that's kind of where you get the direction for him in this movie, where it's just, he didn't really give me a lot. He didn't give me a lot in this movie. And I get it was a PG movie. It's for family. It's for everybody. I think I'd rather watch Captain EO and Michael Jackson than this for 17 minutes than watch this for 2 hours. And like I said, I watched it twice. So I got 4 hours that I can't not obtain back and get put back into my life ever again. And so,
and bringing that up, thinking about it, Thriller even had better special effects and it was more entertaining than this movie was as far as special effects. I mean, like I said, there was good points in this movie. I'm not destroying this movie by any means. It was a very good, there's very good parts in that movie. I understand the concept of it. A teenager is becoming, a hero. I just don't think that the person that played the part realized that or made you realize that whole situation. I think he was kind of a flunky hero. He didn't fear anything because he didn't understand anything. I think he had courage. I think he had a gold star for that. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, man. I got to say one thing. Catherine Mary Stewart, you did see her in another movie, and that was that Weekend at Bernie's. And she played the girlfriend of, what was his name? Andrew McCarthy. Andrew McCarthy. Yeah, she was Andrew McCarthy's girlfriend. Yeah. You know what other movie she was in it's my like one of my my favorite movies. My wife has watched it too. This is Night of the Comet. It's an 80s movie. Yeah. Cheesy, but she was a star in the movie. Very good. I love that movie. And it's like, but again, we're rating movies here, but yeah, she was in that one as well. And what did Sonia say? If I want to go back, what did Sonia say? She said Jaws 4 is the equivalent of Charlie the Starfish tuna fish buying someone. I'd rather the starfish Charlie the tuna fish commercials any day than that movie. The shark was roaring. The shark was roaring in the movie. If you remember that, I never heard a shark roar before, so that was pretty cheesy. Yeah, and bad. Pretty bad. It gets to a point where some movies just go into so many sequels. It's like they got to throw something in there that's different, so that it causes you to watch the sequel again, or it causes you to keep watching that production. It's just weird. They just add stuff that shouldn't be in there. But anyway. Yeah, I was laughing at that too. Yeah, lion shark. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. I mean, it was terrible. Just put a big mane on the shark and just. Right. I mean, it was horrible. But again, let's get back to this movie. I'm going to go ahead and rate it now because I don't know how much more I can talk about this movie. I mean, you got anything else about it that you want to say before we rate it? Yeah, I mean, no, not really. If anybody out there, actually, tell you, all the viewers out there, we really do appreciate your commentary in here, and we are watching everything. And I know some of you guys are really nostalgic toward the movie, and that's cool. Probably the reason why I'm not as nostalgic to the movie, because like I said, I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it in this time. So, and I didn't have a feeling to watch it then when it came out. So that kind of tells you a lot, because I love movies. And that is something that just did not attract my attention at the time when I was growing up. So, but watching it now, I guess I got a jaded view of it. We got our first
but also
one.
B also I like to say this.
She gave it a
I've seen some movies. I've seen some movies back in the day that I absolutely love as a kid, and then I watch it now and I'm like, I really like that, man. This doesn't hold up at all. So sometimes you revisit a movie and things don't hold up. I mean, but we were just talking about
Purple
Miami
Rain
Vice.
come out in '84. Purple Rain came out in '84,
and it still holds up. It still holds up as a pretty good movie. I mean, in my opinion, yes, in my opinion, but it's probably more of a musical, I guess I would say. But again, going back to the Terminator, man, it's just some people make things happen with little stuff they have. They make lemonade out of lemons, and this was lemonade, or it was just lemons for this movie. And that being said, I'm gonna rate this movie, and like I said, we rate with buckets of popcorn. I'm going to give it 2 buckets of popcorn. 2 buckets of popcorn. One for nostalgia, just based on pure nostalgia, and one for the premise of trying. They actually tried to get somewhere with this movie. It just missed the mark. And the 2 for me watching it twice. So that's it. I guess one bucket for each time.
Sonia gave it 3. I think that's kind of generous. Me, on the other hand, I can give it 1. I couldn't even watch it again. I'm gonna tell you something. It did not hold my attention. I watched it in segments. That's how not good this movie was to me. Okay, this is my opinion. Of course, these are all of our opinions. So it don't take it out of context. If you love the movie, you love the movie. That's fine. That's great. There's some people that love Titanic and hated Titanic. It's the same kind of thing. It's, or love Sinners or didn't like Sinners. It's the same thing. We were having fun because we were, talking, me and you, James, about Miami Vice and all the nostalgic things that come on Tubi. By the way, thank you, Tubi, for affording us the right to watch some things. But in the middle of watching this movie, which I had to pay for, by the way,
Same.
I was watching Miami Vice in between that because I just could not focus in this movie. It's not like I had ADHD or anything like that. I just could not focus in this movie because I just didn't. It was just, ugh. And so I'd watch, a little bit of it, and then I'd watch a little bit of Miami Vice, and I'd watch a little bit of that. I fell asleep on some parts. I had to go back and watch the parts I fell asleep on. So I guess it did not hold my attention well.
And also, we can't get our $3.99 back from Amazon Prime Video, right. So you can't get that back. So that's besides time, which is the most priceless thing, can't get that money back either. And so, but this is part of the game. This is what we love to do, and this is what we hope to bring to you is entertaining as the movie was not. But we tried.
And Keith and Bo, I know you guys are probably I know Keith, you're the older gentleman in that, and you probably watched that when you were more of an adult, so you probably have more nostalgia for it than me and James did, especially me, because I mean, just being on myself, I just couldn't get. If I couldn't get into it then, and I think it was because there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in '84. You know, that was a year that a lot of stuff busted out. Apple became big known for their 1984 commercial. People don't realize that. Purple Rain came out. Terminator came out. There were so many
Ghostbusters
and things that you don't. You had more attention to those things than The Last Starfighter. It was kind of like an afterthought movie in the whole cinema of what was going on in that year.
It was literally The Last Starfighter amongst all the other movies. It was the last one. I don't think anybody was thinking about The Last Starfighter. Because again, we're coming off in 1982, 83, Return of the Jedi. That was big then. And so you're coming off Last Starfighter right behind that. And I mean, I don't know. again, it made enough money, like you said. I mean, it made pretty decent. It made more twice the amount of well, almost twice, like 28 million, and
Yeah.
almost twice the amount.
Mm-hmm. Almost, just that much off. I mean, I know that we both had little bios that we were going to do on this movie too. Do you want to go first on your bio?
Yeah, I chose Robert Preston because he caught my attention in the movie, and I thought he was a really good actor. So I was more interested in finding out what he was able to do prior to this. What did it say?
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street came
In
out in
Nightmare,
84.
yes,
That's what I'm talking
absolutely.
about. 84 it was an explosion of cinema in that year of so many good movies in there. I think another
Innovative stuff
Friday
too.
the 13th Part 2 and Halloween came out that year. There was another Halloween movie that came out there. There were so many movies that came out that year that overshadowed The Last Starfighter, and I think that's the reason why, unless you were just going through a stage where you want to see every movie, that's the reason.
I love how you're getting excited about Nightmare on Elm Street with your fedora on.
Anyway,
Ready. All right, so
yeah, they did. They have. I think that was the other thing that really was working against The Last Starfighter. There's a lot of movies they had to compete with. So
yeah,
and it just didn't come. And you know, and a kid growing up as a teenager, my damn self, at 84. I mean, you got to think about it. I wasn't I was into all the action films and all the, music video type of things. I was an MTV kid. So I wasn't paying attention to The Last Starfighter because I had Star Wars. I had Star Trek. What I had to be watching that for, so it is.
correct. Okay, so Freddie, yeah. Freddie B. That's hilarious. So Robert Preston was born in June 8th, 1918, and he started out on stage. He also, his first screen debut was in 1938 in a crime dramas called King of Alcatraz and Illegal Traffic. Early in his profession, he was predominantly in Westerns. It wasn't all he did, but he most of the movies that he did was in Westerns. A couple of them started out with Gary Cooper. That was Union Pacific and Bo Geste. I may have said that wrong for those of you who know these movies. 1939, wasn't even close to being born then. He was also featured in Northwest Mounted Police in 1940. He was a Los Angeles police detective in the noir This Gum for Hire in 1942. Gumshoe is hilarious. 1942 to 1945, he was in World War II. He was in the military. He was in the armed forces, the Air Force specifically, as a intelligence officer. He also, once he got out later on, he won a couple of Tony Awards. This is showing you his chops. He also, not only did he do movies, but he also did mainly stage and musicals. And so he won 2 Tony Awards for musicals, one for his performance as Professor Harold Mill, which is supposedly what Professor Harold Mill was in the Music Man. This character in this movie here that we just rated, The Last Starfighter, was loosely based off of that character. So kind of similar. So you see a little, like, he kind of seems like he had personality in this movie, and he like I said, stole some scenes. Really, I mean, he kind of made the movie as much palatable for me as much as I wanted to watch. It was more so because of characters like him and Zur and Lord Krill and Grigg. He portrayed the same role in the movie in 1962. Like I said, Professor Harold Mill was initially won a Tony Award on stage, but he also played that same character in the movie. How the West Was Won, also 1962. I Do in 1966 on stage. That was his second Tony Award. He also played Ben Franklin in Paris on stage in 1964. Let me give you some history about that. I love history, and Ben Franklin in Paris. Now I got to go look back and see what this stage play was about, because Ben Franklin in Paris was something else. We all know Ben Franklin as the guy, on the $100 bill, helping with Poor Richard's Almanacs. He wrote that, and he invented a lot of things and different stuff like that. But Ben was a player. That's what he was in Paris. He was not not a a
Yep,
crucial.
young
He
Ben
was
was the
not.
man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and he had gout, believe it or not. He also, like I said, did a lot of things, and he was in Paris. I read the book John Adams, and John Adams had no good things to say about Ben Franklin, especially in Paris, because of the things he was doing. He was a womanizer. But with that being said, going back to this, he did the movie The Lion of Winter on stage. Excuse me. He also did the movie Mac and Mabel in 1974, Junior Bonner 1972, and Semi Tough in 1977. And his first Oscar nomination came for Victor Victoria in 1982. And he, of course, he did The Last Starfighter in '84. And he died of lung cancer in 1987. And this is Robert Preston.
So he didn't play in To Serve with Love, did he?
I didn't get that. I didn't see that.
Okay.
But if it was there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I remember seeing Union Pacific with him in it, because I like the old movies. I like watching a lot of the old movies. The time before my parents were even born. There's a green piece of paper.
The $100 bill, you're saying? Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. The youngsters even know that. But to go behind the scenes that he's the, he's a pimp. He's a what was it? What is it? A hoe for show. That's what he. Yep, there's a book about that. Yep, and yes, you're right. Mr. Adams does not speak very kindly about Ben in his books either. So it's hey, it is what it is. But Ben contributed. Hey, he was America. He's America. He's America. He was definitely America. That's for sure.
Or you could say like Don King, only in America, baby. Only in America.
Right, all America. Well, let me get to our star, or the meh star, Lance Guest. Now, we said before, Lance Guest was not the most thrilling actor in this movie. And there's a big reason why. He hasn't been in too many movies in the first place. He was discovered on Halloween 2 to play this part in 1981 because the person who did the producing of this show, or did the directing of this show, also did the directing of Halloween 2. So he said, yeah, we'll bring him in there. He'll be the star, whatever the case may be. So he got in there. And then, of course, you mentioned the Jaws, the Revenge, the crappy one. He did off-Broadway musicals. In 2010 and 2012, he was a guest on the $1 Million Quartet, and he was playing Johnny Cash. I want to see that, to see how that went down. Yeah, you play somebody, man. I want to see that.
That makes more sense, because Johnny Cash was just very stoic, and so a lot of his movies seem like he's kind of a stoic guy. I mean, in Lance Guest.
Thank you
so much. Maybe. Hello.
Yeah, he was born July 21st, 1960 in Saratoga, California. He is still active as an actor, according to this. His last film, by the way, or his last appearance as actor was in 2022. Looks like a TV show called The Patient. He was on one episode of that. And he went to UCLA to the theatrical films school, and he played with Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween 2. He starred in A Roommate with John Updike. He also starred in Neil Simon's I Ought to Be in Pictures. These are just little roles that he had. His most notable role was The Last Starfighter. And it's probably because that's about the only part he was going to have a big role in. Again, he is not a very good actor. He's not a very good actor.
He's literally The Last Starfighter. That's why there's no sequel. There's no. I mean, there's been talk about bringing another movie like this, or
two.
It's just
yeah. I think one was enough. Yeah, one was enough. And again, he's a professional. I'm not trying to crack on a guy. Okay. He did okay for this movie. Obviously, it was a nostalgia movie. People recognize him associated with this movie. So I guess if you make your mark in the film industry as being the guy on this particular nostalgic movie, that's a cult movie, actually a cult film, then yeah, I guess that's your claim to fame. Your claim to fame right there. But he played in a lot of other TV shows. The Wonder Years, Knots Landing, Lou Grant, St. Elsewhere, Jag, NYPD Blue, The X-Files, Becker, Life Goes On, House, and Jericho. So, I mean, he's done a lot of stuff as far as TV has gone, but as far as his career, it's been kind of quiet. He's been just a supporting actor at the most in a lot of these TV shows and movies. So, I mean, I hope that, and he's still doing well, obviously. So he's still out there acting. So,
good for him.
We're talking about Lance Guest, Rob. Yeah. So I mean, he's still out there. I mean, he's like that. He's like the guy that's absolutely the last guy you call when you need a part. I'm not trying to down the dude. He's just not gifted as he's gifted enough to be in stuff, but he's not just gifted enough to star in anything. And I think that's where his career lies. That's all.
Well, like you said, maybe I'd like to see the Johnny Cash one and see
I would too, to see how he did in that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's give everybody the news. We did each episode. This is our third episode. We've done one movie per episode, but going forward, we will be reviewing 2 movies, so it'll be a little condensed, a little shorter than what it's been. And as you can see with this movie, it could have been 30 minutes for sure. We didn't not need to touch base too much. 20 minutes maybe for this tops. But we will be like I said, condensing the runtime for each movie, roughly about 30 minutes. And so next episode will be episode 4, not Star Wars New Hope, but episode 4 for us, BW Flix. We will be reviewing 2 movies, and those 2 movies are Once Upon a Time in America with Robert De Niro. That's one of the older movies, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an older movie and a newer movie each episode, and we're going to do also newish movie 2011 Limitless with Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. And also, if you guys definitely want to either give us constructive criticism, you can either chime in during the show, you can communicate with us during the show, or you can email us. Our email address, is it listed here, B?
Oh yeah, I got it. Hold on just a moment, and I will bring that up for you. There you go, right there at the bottom.
All right, so you can email us at bwflix2026@gmail.com. Again, that's bwflix2026@gmail.com. You can give us the movie that you want us to rate or review. You can also, again, send constructive criticism. And if you like the show, please like the show and on YouTube or Facebook and on our live or just whenever. You can subscribe and share with anybody that you know out there. That way we can continue to give you good content. Again, the movies are going to be Limitless with Bradley Cooper and Once Upon a Time in America with Robert De Niro. He's in both those movies. One's older, the latter I just mentioned, and Limitless is becoming older as it was in 2011, but it's newish. Very good movies. We'll see if they're very good. I'm putting that out there already. But hopefully you enjoy the show, and then you'll join us back. B, you got anything for them?
Yeah, we watch these movies just to let you know that we try not to give our audience fits in trying to find a movie. The last Starfighter was basically what we got from a couple of people who chimed in and said what they would like us to review. And we actually had to go online and pay for that, unfortunately. But we try to keep our movies free so you guys can see them as well without having to pay anything. unless you got your normal things like Netflix, Hulu, whatever the case that you're already paying for. But we try to keep it strictly to Tubi. Tubi has movies on there, past and present, very good movies on there, nostalgic TV shows, everything like that. I should be a spokesperson for Tubi because I'm basically giving them a lot of credit here. So go out there, get yourself, sign up for Tubi. It doesn't cost anything. You can watch all kinds of classic movies. Now, the benefit, the thing that's not good about it, if it depends on who you are, is there's commercials during the movie. But it does not take away from the movie itself. You still have everything. If it's rated R, it's going to be rated R. If it's rated PG, it's going to be rated PG with some 13 with some language in it or anything like that. You're going to see blood and guts in movies that are horror movies. It's doesn't take away from that. You're just going to have a couple of Prudential commercials in there. A couple of medical commercials in there. And other than that, you should be fine. You can get up and get yourself a snack during the movie. Take care of your business during the movie, stuff like that. So and to add to that, the ads are only roughly about 1 minute and 15 seconds usually. And it could be like 4 or so commercials. I mean, and they're short, they're very brief. And like B said, you don't get the movie, they're not cut. So the movies are there. Cash request of Boeing. I feel like I need to. Somebody needs to give me my $3.99 back.
Tubi is one of our exactly. Tubi is one of our go-tos, though. It's our mainstay. So for you guys out there that are watching these movies, we want you to watch these movies. What did it say?
JD Revenge. Is that what it is, Wes?
Oh yeah, JD's Revenge. I'll write that down. He wants us to review it. Yeah, for sure. I've seen it too. It's blaxploitation.
It's good.
I know who that is. So for sure. Now, with that being said, make sure that I lost my train of thought here. In regards to Tubi, please watch the movie. We give you a full week to watch the movie. If you have not seen the movie, and we're telling you what we're going to review, we tell you in advance so that you can watch it because we have spoilers in our reviews. We will give spoilers, and we're unapologetically giving the spoilers because we that's what we do. We like to talk in depth about the movie. We don't like to hide anything or sugarcoat anything. We like to go into different scenes, everything. So if you're going to watch the show, make sure you watch the movie in advance if you don't like spoilers. Okay? With that being said, again, we gave you the 2 movies. We thank you for joining us tonight, and we hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you again. Showtime is YouTube's, Facebook Live at 8 p.m. I said 9 p.m. last time. I'm erroneous on that. I was moving too fast. There's no 9 p.m. It's 8 p.m. We end at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you again for watching our show, and we will see you next episode.
Peace.